The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, everyone. It's a delight to see all of you here this evening. Welcome. In the United States, this is Super Bowl Sunday, and so it's pretty amazing to see so many people here this evening, since I did not plan this as well as I should have. If I had realized, I'm not a football person, obviously, so if I had been a follower of football, or even the halftime for the Super Bowl, which I've also passed up this evening, I probably would have planned this on another evening. So I'm assuming that everyone here this evening either doesn't follow football, like me, or you have really given up a passion to be here this evening, if you're in the United States. And so really, thank you. I really take that as a supreme compliment. Meanwhile, thanks to everybody who's come in this evening. I know a lot of you dial in from around the world and get up in the middle of the night in all kinds of crazy hours during the day just to be here on this monthly call, this psychic hour. So without any further ado, welcome to my psychic hour, and we're going to have so much fun this evening. I have a couple of announcements I want to make, but before I do that, just for people who are new on the line, I want to give you an overview of how we proceed through the evening, through the next hour. I work as a channel. I bring my guides in. I also work with this chart that you see right here on the screen. This is called a horary astrology chart, and it's a chart cast for this moment in time, which now is February 5th, 2:17 at 9 p.m. And the way this chart works is that everybody who has signed up or dialed in for this call this evening will have their life represented by this chart. It's pretty amazing how horary charts work. So I'm going to be able to answer your questions just by having your birth date and looking at this chart. And I also obviously am getting information from my guides who are astrologers. And I also have my trusted tarot cards sitting right here. And I love that I just happened, and I didn't plan this, I just happened to pick the Two of Cups, which is the card that represents relationships and soulmates. And in the chart that I cast for this evening's session, it's really pretty amazing that I think that we're going to have a lot of questions concerning different aspects of relationships, everything from romance to meeting people at work, to developing friendships, to into relationships and vice versa, and relationships with children. So it's going to be interesting to hear what your questions are all about this evening and to see if they mirror what this chart is expecting them to be all about. I also want to talk to you a little bit about our process. When you come on, if you have a question and you want to be called on to this evening to be able to verbally interact with me, make sure you raise your hand, and you'll see that little hand just to the left of your name. I see a lot of you came on and put exclamation points down, and that's great. That just tells me you're happy to be here. If you want to be called on, you've got to raise that hand. If you're a little shy and you have a question, but you don't really want to verbalize it, we also have a question section on the bottom, and you can open that up and you can put your question in there. And Lisa will read those questions. And if she sees one that she thinks is particularly pertinent, she's going to call on you, even though you didn't have your hand raised, that you asked your question in the question box. So that's a good way to ask questions too. I also always offer, and I'll do that again this evening, for those people who are physically present on the call only, that if you have a question and you don't get called on this evening, i.e. your hand was raised, but we didn't have a chance to call on you, within the next 24 hours, you can send me that question and through the email that's on this page, and either myself or Lisa will get back and we will answer that question for you. Make it one question, not 20. Okay, one question. And so we really try to please. Now, when we call on you, please give your first name and where you're from. I really delight in finding out where everybody is from who calls in. It's just one of those special things that we all feel like we can share and connect as a group. So it's really nice to know where we all are. So your name, where you're from, your sun sign, and if you don't know it, just give me your birth date because I'll know the sign, and what you're most grateful for this evening, right now, in this moment. And after that, ask your question. And so this way we get a little bit of good feeling going for each caller who calls in. Now, while you're thinking of your question, I do have a couple of announcements I want to make for everyone. First off, coming right up this coming Thursday, if you have ever been interested in studying numerology, which is very, very easy to learn and gives you tremendous insight both into yourself and into all the people around you. If you have any interest in learning numerology, I have a 1-hour webinar on Thursday evening, February 9th, just this next week, that is an introduction to the entire field of numerology. So if you really want to learn some basics and get a real good feel for whether that's something which is for you, join me on that webinar. It's only $25, so it's a steal at that price, and you are going to learn so much you'll just be amazed at how much information you can come away with just from numbers. It's pretty amazing. I also want to make a note so that you can put this right on your calendar. Next month's Psychic Hour will be on March 5th. And again, it's 9 p.m. Eastern Time, March 5th. My reading special for this month, if anyone wants to get a full reading with me, and you can find out all the different types of readings that I do on my website, that's sandyanastasi.com. But I have a special that I do each month where I discount my reading just for that particular reading. This month's reading special has to do with planning and organizing your finances and being able to pinpoint where your biggest problem areas are and what months this year you're really going to have to deal with them. So this is going to be really great if you've got finances on your mind. That's my reading special for this month. Also, a couple of other things. It's not too late to jump in on my Psychic Development series that I'm teaching for the last time live in Tampa, Florida. Level 1 was just this past weekend, level 1 and 2. It was phenomenal. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and we learned so much. You have enough time to make those 2 classes up and to jump in with levels 3 and 4, which are going to be offered on March 23rd through 26th. So if you want to develop your psychic abilities and you want to learn in person with me, the last time you're going to be able to do that and go through the entire Anastasi system of psychic development in Tampa, Florida, is this winter. So get in on those classes if that's something you've wanted to do. One last announcement, my Kabbalah class, which I don't offer every year, it's infrequent, but it is an enormous asset to spiritual development as well as psychic development, as well as energetic personal healing. It's just an amazing, amazing class. And that class is in process. It just started about 3 weeks ago. It is not too late to join. So if you're interested in really developing your spirituality, your connection to your higher self and your guides, to knowing your life path and really following it and working through all of your personal issues, that class is still open, that you can jump in. It's not too late to make the first couple of sessions up. It meets Wednesday nights. So if you want to find out about that, you can go on my site and look it up, sandyanastasi.com, or you can contact Lisa online, and she will tell you all about it and get you enrolled, okay? So, Lisa, I'm ready to take questions. So who's our first caller?
Our first caller tonight is going to be Lynn. Lynn, you are unmuted.
Hello, Lynn.
Hi. Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
My question, well, first of all, I'm from Virginia, and my sign is, I'm a Leo, and I am grateful for my family, of course, Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. And my question is, I saw your videos on your psychic development, and I ordered your first book, and I'm working through it. And I just want to know what my abilities, if I have any psychic abilities, and how they can help me on my path in this lifetime. Because I'm not really sure where to start.
It's a big question, Lynn, but it's a wonderful question for us to start this hour on, because psychic development is my thing. It is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Lisa, could you mute Lynn back up so that we don't get that feedback while I'm speaking? Thank you. Okay. We'll unmute you again so that you can give feedback along the way, but right now we're just going to let me talk. First off, I'm glad you have that lovely family, Lynn. That's great. And I do want to just point out here in this horary chart, you fall into the 11th house, which is all about aspirations and friends and groups that you belong to and your belief systems that you derive with those groups. So for you, studying and working within a group is a real important thing. Keep that in the back of your mind. And your 12th house here has Leo on it. And so this is, again, very appropriate to this question, because the 12th house talks about all the hidden things within us. It's all of our personal treasure trove, our assets that we bring in from other lifetimes. It's the sum total of everything that's in our subconscious mind. So you're probably also at this time in your life interested in psychology and what makes people tick, and your spirituality and your psychic development. It's that whole ball of wax. So everything is being hit at the same time, which is as it should be. Now, you were asking about your own personal abilities. And this is kind of interesting because, first off, the chart says that you bring in a lot of ability with you, psychic ability, but a lot of that psychic ability, let's look at the chart, comes from the opposing house, where you tend to, it's almost like you look at your own abilities reflected in everybody else's. My friend, you are a healer. You have a tremendous amount of healing energy. You have a healing touch. So when you're with people, these planets over here in the opposing house from your sun, South Node, Neptune, Chiron, they're all in Pisces. Virgo is the sign that's in that Leo house. And Virgo is a healing sign. Pisces is a healing sign. So you've got all this fiery energy that comes from Leo, but you have difficulty recognizing your own psychic and intuitive abilities because they tend to be more projective than receptive, which is kind of rare, okay? There are more receptive empaths out there in the world than there are projective empaths. Now, you can do both, but let me give you an example. When you know that somebody in your family or one of your pets is hurt or is ill, you almost don't even have to ask them. You simply know it. You don't process it. You don't feel it. You don't take it on. You just know it. And there you are trying to fix them or give them a blanket, or I know how to fix that, or I'll take you to the doctor if you want. Okay? So this is where your psychic ability comes out the most clearly. Lisa, unmute Lynn so she can comment on this.
Yes, you're right. I can do that.
I know you can. And the reason you're saying, Sandy, do I even have any psychic ability, is because everybody in your family knows you do, because you do these services for them. But you don't know you have it because it doesn't feel to you like you're doing anything special.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So you've got it. You definitely have it. And I also want to tell you that this comes through your whole family. You're not the only one. There's a family connection here where there have been other people in your family, usually the women. It has turned up in men too, though, who have that same ability as you have. They're on the spot when there's an emergency. They know something needs to be done before anybody told them it needs to be done. You get what I'm saying? It's really kind of interesting. What your family has is a fiery, really Leo type of psychic ability. It's It's that psychic ability that's like the lion hunter in the jungle doesn't even know why, but he walks off the path and circles around the lion that's waiting for him. Okay, it's an intuitive knowing that is so automatic and just flows so easily that you don't know that you're doing it. But you'll find yourself being in the right place at the right time to fix something or to be ready for something. You know, you get 12 people for dinner, and that's the night you just happen to go grocery shopping, and you bought this giant ham. You know, these are the kind of things that are in your world all the time, and you just take them in stride. You just assume that everybody does the same thing. So the answer is yes. First of all, you know, everybody is psychic, but it is difficult sometimes to discover what your own best ability is. Now you know you are and always have been, and you have a better understanding of how to collect what I call your do-goods. So you start recognizing yourself. That's going to increase your ability. And now the thing is to build on that and start to develop your empathy and your telepathy and those things that are a little more elusive for you because they don't come as naturally. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, incidentally, you also have, this is the first card I picked for you. So you've got love stuff going on this month, and here it is. It's Valentine's month, February 14th, and, you know, I don't know if it's you or somebody in your family that's got a new relationship going, but it's a real happy one, okay? And I also see you saving a lot of money for something. That's the saving money card, the Four of Pentacles. And it's a happy family event. It almost looks like somebody's getting married soon. Or the offer of marriage is coming. This is nice. So there's something really special there to look forward to as well. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I was just, with the healing part, I'm interested in that, especially the energetic, the energy healing part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That really resonates with me, and I just wanted to ask you if that is what you saw too.
I would definitely look into that. Because it's something that will come. And there's so many different aspects of it. I'm a Reiki master, so, and right now Reiki is very, very commonly accepted. It's a good thing to learn and practice. I also do quantum touch. I highly recommend it. With quantum touch, you can actually move bones around. You can straighten backs. You can do amazing things. It's effective. It works. There's a new modality that has come out called reconnective healing, and it just reconnects body circuitry so that everything flows and heals naturally. There's also tapping, which is very, very, worked all over the world in all different areas, and you do well with that. I would explore all of those modalities and find out what really works for you. And also, I don't know what your work background is, but I do believe that if you went into a healing field, you would, and any healing field, anything from dental hygiene to massage therapy, I think you would be very, very happy with the work. You will just truly love it because you really enjoy interacting with people and seeing the results, the positive results that your interaction has with them. You know, there's a great deal of joy there for you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then you can keep studying psychic development. What I told my class this weekend is everybody, everyone on this call, everybody in the world should be studying psychic development, because no matter what your field, no matter what your life issues, no matter what your spiritual focus is, your ability to develop your complete self psychically will enhance everything else that you do. It makes it easier to learn. It makes it easier to use your energy healing. It makes it easier for you to communicate with other people, to know what they want or don't want. It's just amazing. It's a part of us that we really need to regather and start to use again. So I am very grateful. What I'm grateful for this evening is that you were my first caller and that you gave me a chance to brag about how important it is for all of us to embrace and develop our psychic skills. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I just saw your YouTube videos, and I was like, oh man, I have to get her books and start doing that. And I had just received it, and I've been looking it over, and I just love it. And that's why I just love all this stuff in this field, and I just want to get started, and I just don't know where to get started.
Well,
but you helped me.
You're going to be a long-term student in the psychic field because there's so very, you're never going to run out of things to learn. There's so much to learn and to embrace, and it's so exciting. It's like a whole new world. And, I remember when I was on that precipice of learning, just where you are at right now, and it was literally like my heart burst open, and the whole world became available to me. It was just so amazing. You're going to love it. It's a good place for you to be. So
okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. And Lisa, who's our next person?
Our next person is going to be Kathleen. Kathleen, you are unmuted.
Thank you.
Hello, Kathleen.
Hello. Thank you for taking my question tonight. My question is very similar to the last one. I have started on this kind of journey as well. And, by the way, I am...
Right, where are you from?
That's where I was going. I'm from New Jersey, and I am grateful for all of the choices out there on this journey. But that's also part of my problem because I just seem to be reading everything, and I feel like I'm all over the place. I read about mediumship, I read about psychic development, I read about intuitive development. I've been to psychometry. Sorry?
Let's back up a little bit. What's your sun sign?
Oh, Scorpio.
Okay.
I've been to psychometry classes. I've been to past life regression. I feel like I'm just all over the place with this, and I was wondering if you could just give me some direction in this.
Well, first I can make you feel a little bit better about being all over the place. You heard me talk a little bit earlier that I'm teaching the Kabbalah online right now. And what caused me to learn the Kabbalah myself is that when I first got involved with the field, like you, I jumped in with both feet. I'm a double Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon. Interestingly, in this chart tonight, the midheaven is in Gemini, the moon's in Gemini, so I've got a lot of people like you on this call who are dabbling all over the place. And instead of feeling guilty about this, embrace it, because that's what I do. When I started out, which was all the way back in the 1970s, and I found my very first, step, for me it was astrology. And I learned tarot, and I learned astrology, and I learned numerology, and I learned feng shui, and I learned them all at the same time. Every single one, it was like I was a kid in a candy store. And every single one of the metaphysical sciences that I could discover, I jumped in, and I had to immerse myself in it. My apartment had thousands of books. None of them were completely read. I had a chapter out of this, a chapter out of that. Because I couldn't get enough. I was just racing through, wanting to absorb it all at the same time. And finally, I stepped back and I said, this is really interesting because I found that no matter what modality that I was using, whether it was astrology or tarot or numerology, I could follow a thread, and I could follow it through all of these different modalities that I have learned. And it all fit. It was like all of these fields somehow fit together. But I couldn't find a common denominator for them, and it was driving me nuts. So on the other planes, while I slept, my guides taught me the Kabbalah. And later on, I found books written by other people who were in the same class as me out there on the astral. So we all studied the same stuff, which was really great. The thing is that what I found is the Kabbalah was a place that I could find that common thread between all of the metaphysical traditions, whether it was psychic development, whether it was energy healing. And not only that, I could find the government, I could find religion, I could find magic, and there it all was, somewhere on the Kabbalah. It was really pretty amazing. So I finally had a roadmap, and then I felt better about it. Now, whether or not you ever studied the Kabbalah, what's important for you to know is that there is a roadmap out there and that everything is related and it all works together. And whether you're attracted to numerology in this moment and psychic development in the next, doesn't matter. What's important is that if you're following that inner intuition that says, I need that, there's something in you that knows that even if it's a one-day seminar that you take on reconnective healing, even though you aren't a healer right now, you needed to know about that because somewhere in the future, you're going to need to draw on that information. Okay? So please don't beat yourself up about being all over the place right now. The likelihood is a year from now or 2 years from now, it's going to all come together for you and you're going to say, oh, I'm so glad that I had that exposure to all of these things because now I know what people are talking about when I'm in this class or when I'm doing this work. Is that making sense to you?
It's absolutely making sense, yes.
Okay, so quit beating yourself up. You're allowed to explore. And not only are you allowed to explore, but it's all going to come back to you in a good way. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Okay, good.
the one thing I would do is if you are, I find this is sometimes, now not for everybody, there are just no real no's out there, okay? Everybody learns differently. But in general, I generally say to people, for example, if you're studying the tarot classes with me, while you're taking those classes, just stick with my material. Because if you go out and you study 12 other people's material, you might find things that sound contradictory and it's going to confuse you. But
Okay.
done studying my material, by all means, study what everybody else in the field has read and written because it's going to make what you can do and what you know so much richer. Okay? So don't study with just one person. Study with as many people as you can find, but don't get too many at the same time in the same exact area because then you could get confused. Okay?
Okay, good. Yes.
It's unfortunate, but different people, that came out wrong. Different people approach things in different ways. Let me give you an example. Supposing I'm looking at a tarot card. I'll pick one as a matter of fact. This tarot card is the Fool. It represents both you and Lynn. It's about making a new beginning with something, and it's all exciting, right? But it also could be a young child. And it also could represent your unconscious mind, both before and after death. So if you study with me and you just hear me teach you that this is a new beginning for you, and then you're studying with someone else at the same time and says, oh no, this is your soul. That's why you can get confused. Do you see?
I see.
Yeah.
Yes, I
it's
see.
not that either one of us is wrong. It's that different meanings will come out at different times. So study with one person, get that under your belt, and you don't have to go from the whole course. Study as much as you need from that person. And when it feels like it's done, it's done. And then move on to the next. And then move on to the next. And know that you're growing in just the way that you're supposed to be growing. Does that help?
Okay. Yes, very much. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I see that you have either made a move recently or you're thinking about making a move, yes? And that you're not really sure you want to, but you feel like you have to. And my guides are saying that you don't really have to if you step back and you wait and you watch what's going on and you wait for the right time. Things are going to fall into place for you, and you're going to realize that if you do move or not, it's really a matter of choice. There's no longer that pressure that says I have to do this. Okay? So they're encouraging you right now to have patience.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you. Who's next, Lisa?
I'm actually going to read this one from the chat line, if you can hear me okay.
Okay.
My headphones are working, so. All right, this is from Caden, who cannot answer because he's at work. He is from Sydney, Australia. He has a cancer, and he's grateful for his job. And he says, I often see into other dimensions when I'm asleep, often seeing all sorts of spirits, human and non-human looking. I think I have delivered messages from spirit to people. Sometimes it feels like dumb luck. I started going through your development book. I look forward to seeing where it takes me. Any advice for my development?
Okay. Caden, first of all, thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate the call, and I'm always excited when I'm talking with somebody from Australia. I love Australia. It's just beautiful over there. Great, great, great country. I am seeing you both here in the 10th house, which is career. So it's not really a surprise that you're asking about your psychic development. And I'm thinking you're also thinking, could this be a career path for you? Because your Cancer sun hits this 10th house, but also the 11th. So you're looking for, groups, organizations that you can belong to learn and be a part of, and to really be able to step out and do what you do more publicly and also with more of a sense of surety and security. Caden, I pulled a bunch of cards for you while Lisa was reading your statement, and one of the things that I'm seeing here, I pulled out a inverted 10 of Wands, and also an inverted 10 of Pentacles. The 10 is interesting in numerology that you're getting so many 10s here, because the 10 is the one on a higher level. It's telling you that you do need to make a new beginning. You do need to step out, and it does need to be about your goals and your beliefs. But the fact that I pulled the inverted wand, 10 of Wands, and inverted 10 of Pentacles tells me that there's a lot of family pressure and family responsibility around you right now, and you are kind of having a conflict between that family responsibility and the desire to really step out and do what you want to do and be more open with what you want to do. So I think that your family situation, based on what my guides are telling me, needs to be resolved in here, in yourself, before you can really determine what it is that you want to do. There's something in particular going on with an older woman around you that you need to get through, you need to get past, before you're going to feel more comfortable with moving down the road, with being able to give the information, the answers to people that you want to do. Now, once you get to that point, and I'm not saying you should hold off on studying your psychic development, go ahead and do it. It's going to enhance and help every aspect of your life. So do study, but expect that when those studies are done, you're going to want to step into a new life using what you've learned. And the family may not be all that supportive of it. So you may have to really step out and do your own thing. So take care of those family responsibilities first, so that when you're wanting to step out, you're going to feel comfortable with that, and you're going to know it's the right thing for you at that time. I hope that made some sense to you. And I know you can't talk right now, but if you want, you can give feedback to Lisa in that chat room, the question area, and she, after I take my next caller, she'll be able to get back, and we can jump back into what you have to respond to, okay? Meanwhile, you're on the right path. Your information that you're getting is not always accurate, though, got to tell you. So it's important to, that's not, I'm sorry, that didn't come out correct. The information is accurate. Information coming from your guides and from your higher self, it's always accurate. But your interpretation of that information is not always accurate. And because of that, it's a good idea to, get human guinea pigs, get people that you can practice on, that know that you're finding your way in this field now, and that, they need to get feedback for you. They need to take your information as like advice from a friend, and then go and get real solid feedback that can give you the strength to know that what you've said to them is correct or is not. You want to know if it's not too, so that you know how to tweak the information that you're getting, so that you know how to interpret those symbols, that information, with greater clarity. And you also are going to have to learn how to turn it on and off. That's very important. And you are also going to have to learn how to, approach people, because you really should not ethically just jump into somebody's life and say, hey, I got a message for you, and here it is. We know that you're very excited about this, but your person that you're telling this information to may take it as quite a shock, and sometimes they may even feel invaded. So it's very important how you approach people. It's important that you make sure the person is open to receiving that message. So there's a whole lot of things about that to learn as well. What Long Island Psychic does in her show, I'm absolutely certain she doesn't do in real life. Okay, so I mean, when she interviews those people and says, "Oh, I see your dead mother," there's a television crew right around her. So obviously that person was asked permission first, okay? And you're going to need to learn how to approach people with that information. But you're going to do, and this is a prediction I'm making for you, if you go this route, you're going to be very successful with it. It's going to be a long haul. There are some personal battles that need to be fought, not just information learned before you get where you want to go. But it will be worthwhile to have done, okay? So thank you very much for that question. Lots of good information, I think, for everybody on the call. And I want to thank my guides for working with your guides for that information to come through. Lisa, who's our next caller?
Alrighty, our next caller is going to be Christopher. Christopher, you are unmuted.
Oh,
Christopher.
hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, hey, Sandy.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Hi. Yeah. So the first question. Yeah, I'm a Gemini, and I don't think you've had a Gemini come in here for quite some time. I think so I'm representing the Geminis. Yeah, and also, did you ask what we're grateful for? Is that one of the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm grateful for two things. I'm grateful for the people in my life that I love and who love me too. I'm very grateful for that, and also grateful that my health is doing really well. And I think that's one of the things to be, really grateful for, because health is extremely important.
I'm glad you're saying that. Everybody on the call needs to hear that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, everything rests on that. So, yeah, so that's what I'm grateful for. Also grateful for your book on psychic development. I got the first one. So, yeah, I started reading that. I'm trying to find time for that.
Did. And this is your night for calling in, because here is the moon tonight, where I have the cursor on this chart, and it's in Gemini. So this is a really good night for you to call in and get a reading as a Gemini. Cool. And that's what this line is up here. It's the top of the chart is also Gemini. So I'm sure that you want to know about, you want to know about your future in terms of career, in terms of what you're going to be doing in life. You also want to know about the woman in your life, the relationships. You want to know about travel and perhaps relocation. You also want to know about an older father figure in your life, correct?
Yeah, older father figure, or maybe older mother figure, or
mother-in-law.
Or maybe my father. Could be my father or my grandmother.
Yeah, I would suppose father. That would work. Yes, father. This would be father right here, and I see concern for him, and your grandmother, your father's mother. Okay, I'm going to show you how to read this horary chart here. Your father's mother would be turning out over here. So she should have enjoyed good health for a very, very long time. Virgo is a real strong health sign. And she's a real picky lady. She does not let anybody get away with anything. Now, everybody thinks your father's health is great right now. Not so good, okay? Tell him to watch out for himself. He's got some issues going on that are, I'm going to say, underlying, okay? And it's like a chronic condition that he just deals with and doesn't tell anybody about it. He just deals with it. He needs to pay attention to it. It's time to get on top of it and make sure that he's taking care of it properly. Okay?
Okay.
As far as your personal question that you had, what was your one question?
Well, yeah, it was actually, it was about career. That was exactly what I've been concerned about. And you also said about the woman in my life, too.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, those are the two big ones.
an opportunity coming up, and that looks like it'll be probably maybe in the next, it could even be for Valentine's Day. I was going to say somewhere in the next month to month and a half, an opportunity for some travel. And that's going to be very happy, very successful. There's also an opportunity that you would be involved with her in some kind of business or financial dealing where you can both do something with as an investment of time, but there's going to be money that comes from it, which can be good. As far as career is concerned, um, please don't take this the wrong way, but you are, even though you're a Gemini, you have this real strong Leo undertone in your chart and in your personality. And that Leo energy is the part of you that really wants to please everyone. It's the part of you that wants everybody to like you. And the reason I'm saying that that's a dominant energy you need to work with right now is that there is an older man at work that you're having difficulty with. And, you want to please him. You want to be able to get on his good side. You want advancement. You want to be able to make this all happen. And frankly, he's a crank and it's not going to change. Okay? He is who he is. And stop taking that as a reflection on you. It has nothing to do with you. If you step back and become more objective, you're going to recognize that exactly the crappy things he does to you, he does to everybody else too. It's just who he is. Okay? And I think that'll make you feel a little bit better. There's a woman who competes with you, who gets under your skin because you feel like she's making headway with this boss figure, this guy. And frankly, he doesn't like her any better than he likes you. Don't worry about it, okay? I do see career advancement here, okay? Just don't let this little garbagey stuff keep distracting you from doing a good job and taking the joy in your work that you know you can do. I'm going to ask, of course, you want to know you're going to stay there. And I have to tell you, I see this as a stepping stone position. I do not see this as permanent deployment, okay? I see this as a stepping stone. And I think you already know that, okay? And your question is, how long do I need to stay? And probably, I get a 6. That could be, I'd say at least through June, maybe July. But by then, I think you're going to be through the rough waters around you right now. And you're going to be real calm, but you're still going to make a change at that point, and it'll be the right time to make the change. It'll feel good. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you.
And who's next, Lisa?
Our next person is going to be Rachel. Rachel. Oop, wrong one.
Hello?
Rachel, you're now unmuted.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And how are you this evening?
I am wonderful. I am from Aiken, South Carolina. I'm a Cancer, and I am most grateful right now for my husband because I just had some major surgery, and he has been amazing. So, my question...
Rachel, based on this chart, just for your information, here you are, same place as our other Cancer caller, and you're right here between the career house and the friend's house. But opposing this, and the opposition always deals with your relationship partner. Opposing this is, there he is, your husband, who is also your best friend. See that combination? And it's in the house of romance.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's got something really special planned for Valentine's Day.
That's good to know.
And it may be a little bit of a secret, too, just so don't tell him I told you, okay?
Okay. You spoiled it. You ruined it. Okay. So my question is, just like everyone else on the line tonight, I am kind of lost as far as what I need to do for career to make money. And maybe career or making money is not the thing I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm just kind of lost on what my next step is and what I should be looking into.
Well, this is going to sound a little bit strange, but one of the interesting things that's going on with you really does have to do with your husband. Can I ask you what's going on with him with his career right now? Because he seems like he's very unhappy.
He hates it.
Yeah. And, you have no idea how much this is affecting your financial, your personal finances, as well as your joint finances, as well as his finances. The fact is that you cannot, I mean, this is a universal law, that whatever you put your energy into, you're going to attract more of that. So if every time I go to work, I hate my job a little more, then more of the same things I hate about my job are going to come into my job, and I'm going to hate it a little more. And no matter how much money I'm making at that job, I'm going to constantly feel like it's an uphill battle, and I'm going to stop myself from reaching the top of what I can make. As a matter of fact, I'm going to gradually decrease because I don't really want to be doing that work. And so the logic of it is, well, if you're not going to do the work, you're going to make less money and less money. Do you see how that works?
Right.
As long as he's doing this work that he absolutely hates, that he's miserable at, his feeling about that, especially because you guys are so close and you're, emotionally you're almost like twins. You're best friends. You're not just lovers and husband, wife, and parents. You're best friends. So you can't address your work without his attitude towards his work coming in. And you can't feel like you can even take a job because he's so very unhappy that he can't even think what he wants to do. All he can think about is, I hate what I do. You see?
Okay.
So what I'm going to suggest is that you do one of two things, okay? I think because you guys are so close, you either have to put all of your energy behind him, finding what he wants to do, and getting him on that road to success. Or you've got to say, honey, quit it and get a junk job, and let's put all of our energy into getting me where I need to be able to make the prime income. You got it? But you're going to need to work together on this. And if it, one of the things you might do with him is sit down and, if you choose that, okay, we're going to focus on your job first and getting you where you feel like, if that's what you choose, has to be your choice, then what he needs to do is to sit down and first get the job completely out of his mind. And he needs to write down all the things that he's really good at, that he, not even that he's necessarily enjoying, but he's good at. Then he needs to make another column, all the things that he's good at that he actually enjoys. Then he needs to make a column pertinent to not just this job, but all the jobs he's ever had. What are the skills that he's learned from all those jobs? Now we're talking about whether he likes it or not, whether he's good at it or not, what are all of his skills. So by the time you're done, you're going to have a table that lets him know what he can do, what he likes to do, what he's really good at, and that's going to point him into looking for a job either in the company he's with, maybe a different department, or moving to a different company where he can be really successful because he's got the assets to be successful.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And meanwhile, you can do the exact same thing for yourself. And that's going to help you to isolate and pinpoint what's the direction I should go to either look for a job or to study something which could lead me to a job. So you can use that for you too. But like I said, because your energy is so mingled, so close, you really need to do one of you before the other. Put your energy into first getting one of you on track, then get the other on track. Right now, you're pulling from him, he's pulling from you, he's trying to help you, you're trying to help him, and it's just this mishmash, and nobody's getting it together. Okay?
Okay. All right.
Good luck. Good luck.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa, who's our next victim? I'm going to use the term victim now, after that call. The next one's going to be a victim. So.
Oh, that's mine. All righty. Our next victim is going to be Lisa. Lisa, you're unmuted, but you may have to unmute on your end.
Okay, I think I got it.
Hey, Lisa.
Can you hear? Hello.
I love that name, Lisa. I bet you don't know why.
I don't.
It's because my lovely assistant has the same name. It's a good name. Lisa, there's a
thank you.
for a radio going in the background. Can you turn that down?
Turn that down. Okay, she's She's trying to turn her little phone down. I'm going to move away from her.
Otherwise, it would be real distracting. Okay. And so, where are you from, Lisa?
I am from Davenport, Iowa. For some reason, my phone just, there's no video now. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, my name is Lisa. I am a Libra, 92472. I am grateful for my family. But I'm also grateful for everything in my life.
I can tell this is a real moment for you. A real moment.
It is. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said I'm grateful for you too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering about. I have a court hearing coming up for my granddaughter. At the end of February. I was wondering how that was, looking, and just am I on the right path? Career.
Can I interrupt a little bit, Lisa? I'm not sure, and I want to be really honest about this. I'm not sure how direct you want me to get with issues about the court hearing for your granddaughter when she is obviously present in the room, and we're also very public here with a video that will be public. Okay?
Okay. Well, she can't hear you.
Right.
I got headphones on.
Okay.
And she's little, so she would never see it.
Yeah, but there's people who do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest that perhaps you write that one in a letter. Okay.
Okay.
I would have information to tell you on that. I think it's going to be good. I think things are going to work in a very good way. But there's things there that I really don't want to say over the air. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Also, that my connection with Archangel Azrael. It was kind of a shocking thing for me. What do you think about that?
Okay. And again, you're being very enigmatic because you don't want this said over the air. Okay. Let's make it clear. You want to know if Archangel Azrael is a healthy connection for you, and the answer is yes.
Right. Okay. I was wondering what the strong connection was, why it was so strong.
Because that was his best way to reach you.
I'm sorry, what?
That was his best way to reach you. Let me give you an example, okay? One of my guides is Rebbe Zartars, whom I know you're not familiar with, but many people online who have studied Ekankar might recognize the name Rebbe Zartars, because Rebbe Zartars was the guide that first gave all the information in Ekankar to Paul Twitchell, who formed Ekankar. And Rebbe Zartars came to Paul Twitchell as like an agent of love. Every communication that happened between them was totally loving, generous, and caring, and safe. When Rebbe Zartars came to me as a guide, and I had no idea that he had ever guided anybody else or been connected to Paul Twitchell or anything, or Ekankar, or anything. But when he came to me as a guide, it was not loving. It was direct. It was intense. It was, you need to do this. It was, no, that's wrong. Stop that. It was like having a really strict parent. Now, the reason he came to Paul Twitchell with this energy of love is because that was the way that was best to reach Paul Twitchell. The reason he came to me with an energy of real strict parenting and laying down the law is because that was the best way to reach me. Do you see that? So it's not about, it's not about, oh wow, there are many people who would connect with this archangel. You're not the only one.
Right.
When you get a guide of that magnitude, that guide is a master who's really working with many, probably millions of people. But each
Right.
one of them he will connect with differently because he knows in this moment in time what is the best way to reach you, what is the best vibratory connection that's going to make this connection smooth and easy for both of you. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
Okay. And that's nice. I think that's very special. I think he's a good connection for you. Okay?
Yeah. Uh-huh. And how do you see my abilities progressing?
In this moment, you're not doing a lot with them right now. I don't know why.
I know. Well, I think it's been more about doubt sometimes, like just the chaoticness that's been going on, and sometimes I have a hard time sorting it out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think what's happened is that I think you need to slow down. Okay? I think when you tune in and you raise that vibration, you get this rush of information that gives you like 10 million things at the same time. And you're like, well, which thing should I take? Okay? Number one, pick one image or pick one sound or pick one feeling and explore it. So first, throw everything else out except one. That's going to help you. Focus on one. And even when you focus on that one section, you're going to get this download that's got another 50,000 things. So then take a breath and just write down the ones that are the clearest. You've got to train your mind to be able to focus on that one thread in the middle of 50,000 threads.
The weirdest thing is, like, I can be sitting there and somebody can be in the room and all of a sudden they're, it just comes out like just whatever it is that is being said. Like yesterday, somebody was here whose mother had passed, and she just came through and just wanted her to know these things.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. And I also want to suggest something else, too. It's that you've got your archangel, and he is giving that information, so we know the information is coming through is accurate and is basically good. But right now, I think you're having a rough time because you have no control over it. So you definitely need to learn to sort it, to find that one thread. You need to turn it on and off. You need to learn how. You need to give yourself permission. You don't have to be like a radio antenna where you're on all the time.
Right.
They're allowed to have office hours. Matter of fact, the ones that keep their sanity must have office hours. You got what I'm saying? Okay, you do not allow your granddaughter to come into your bedroom in the middle of the night and say, Grandma, get up because I'm ready to have breakfast now, right now. Do you?
Right.
Okay? So you've got to train your guys, even your archangels. They do not have command. You have command. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you're working with my program right now, but I'm really going to strongly recommend you do. And I'm going to recommend that you go all the way back to level 1 because it's in the basic levels, level 1, 2, and 3, that you really get the foundation for developing the right control and the right protection. You get this wonderful information from people and from your angel, but you don't always want to make those connections to specific people who are trying to push at you. Okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think you can get a handle on this pretty quickly. I honestly do. Okay? Think of it like cleaning your house. You do one task at a time. You do them in order. You do them well. And you set the others aside until you're ready.
Okay.
You got to address it like you're being a good parent. You're being a good housekeeper. And that's exactly how you're going to get a handle on what's going on, what's coming in for you. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
And thanks for calling. And I think that was our last caller. We are 10 o'clock on the button, folks. So I have no more time, but I know I have a few more people with their hands up. Remember what I had said? If you have a question, feel free to email me the one question, not 10 dozen, one question, and either Lisa or I will get back. And if you mail it within the next 24 hours and you were on the call with your hand raised, we'll answer that for you. So thank you very, very much. Don't forget, the next Psychic Hour is going to be on March 5th from 9 to 10 p.m. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming in tonight. Bye.